in the blood on the board, honey. That's kind of a
Talking about it, maybe.
yeah.
Well, try calling the register of deeds office. I don't know if he left his number. I don't know if ever.
Got a minute?
Unless
Official, 1 minute.
turn my phone off.
All right, I'll bring this special meeting to order of the Hermosa Town Board on Monday, June 29th at 6 p.m. Starting with roll call. Trustee Ferguson,
Here.
Trustee Kramer,
Here.
Trustee Matheny,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Here.
Trustee Service here. All right, acknowledgement of other attendees. Thank you everyone for coming out for this special meeting. Hopefully it won't be super long, but we'll
When should I
get to it.
schedule it for?
It hurt your.
I'm not trying to schedule any more meetings with Terry's phone. I can confirm that. All right, let's move forward with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, comments from the public. Would anybody like to open up some public discussion before we get into the items? Anybody have anything they'd like to say about anything going on, really? Absolutely anything.
Just want to say thank you for making the opportunity so we can. Nothing wrong for me.
Anybody else? Nothing. All right, call for changes, review of current agenda items. So a couple of things have come up over the past weekish. They've kind of been ongoing, but some more clarity has occurred. So I'd like to discuss those a little bit tonight. One being the water leak on Tower Hill, a permit and mitigation. So water tank leak permit and mitigation, and bulk water backflow preventer meter are two things I would like to have really short discussions on, just because they kind of jumped up at us over the weekend.
Bulk water. What?
Bulk water backflow prevention meter.
Did you want to discuss the mowing in town? So we could get that finished up this week before the next.
He came through on Sunday.
Yeah, but he didn't get everything.
Okay.
So do we want to talk about it?
I would like to.
Have we talked? Has anybody else talked to him?
Well, I talked to him a little, but you had told him what to do, and he did not know about Whitney Street or other areas, and so I told him that we would discuss it and get back to him. So I think he did a good job. Nice man. I've met him several times up there, and
Very easygoing.
yeah, real easygoing guy. Yep. I have not been down and looked at the lagoon. I did look at the tower and down below, and they both look good, but
Yeah, we can, if you want to have so we'll make that mowing post mowing debrief.
Can I add something to about the tower? The hill going up to the tower. The other day, Chuck seen kids riding their motorcycle up and down that tower.
Not only they're running up and down the Tower Road, they're going vertical up the hillside. And as soon as it rains hard, where their trail's going straight up the hillside from the bottom, from 40 up to the fence, tower fence, there's trails that way too.
I seen the trails and I thought, yeah,
I wondered, I'm like,
Right, real bad.
yeah, real bad.
So I think if anybody's they should,
Anybody know who it was? I mean,
They live up there, the people live up there. I see them drive out of their lot.
All right, we'll call it ATV use on Tower Hill.
There was some people in Ferguson had, not Ferguson, but Walnut Grove had some serious.
All right, so item B, water tank leak permit and mitigation. C, backflow preventer meter. D, mowing debrief, and E, ATV use on Tower Hill. Okay. Is everybody okay with that? Somebody wants to make a motion to,
And make a motion,
Well-
add those on to our agenda.
We also need to discuss the prairie dogs if that hasn't been handled.
What's your agenda?
You did
But
make
we
a
can
call?
talk about it.
Okay.
okay, so F, prairie dog on Tower Hill. Okay, that's meetings just. All right, anybody want to make a motion to cover those amendments?
I make a motion that we add those to our agenda.
Motion made, do we have a second?
Okay.
Motion made and seconded, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Aye, of course. Made the call, sorry.
5 ayes, all right. Conflict of interest declaration, roll call voting for any agenda items where conflict of interest is formally identified. I really don't think that's a thing tonight, like at all, but I don't, anyway, new business. All right, suspend FEMA break work and payments. Thinking about how to have this discussion out of the gate. One thing I would like that, it's strange, we've never had this discussion, really. What does everybody actually want from this grant specifically? What do they expect? What they want? Where do they see this going as far as board members go? What are your thoughts on the purpose of this grant and what we're going to get out of it? So if any of the board members want to get started with that.
Well, I'd like to make a motion so that we can discuss it.
Okay.
I'd like to make the motion that we continue with ATAC and wait for the review from Scott James and the updates that are due in the next 2 weeks to come back to this. That's my motion.
Motion made. Do we have a second?
Sure.
Motion made and seconded. All right.
So now your discussion point.
Well, now we need to discuss that because you made a pretty specific motion. So would anybody like to discuss continuing ATAC and waiting until we hear more from Scott James before we basically do anything?
Have we heard anything yet from Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's kind of hard for me to make a decision until I know what that is.
Okay.
What,
Anybody else? I'm gonna reserve my comments for after everybody else has had a chance to say. I think that's something I'm gonna try to stick to a little more thoroughly.
yes, except that you talked to.
You have info though.
Right.
And we all need to know what Scott said, or is he coming to the meeting?
He is supposed to be coming in.
All right. Well, yeah, because I have some questions for him. I'd like to know his opinion for sure, because it's very important. This is not just a contract with ATAC, which is actually not as big a deal as the contract with FEMA for the grant and the grant work. And I feel like if we suspend the work, it opens us up for more liabilities. I understand if you want to suspend the work because you don't want ATAC to continue working, right? Well, then all of their work will be put on hold. But I think it opens us up for being more responsible for the larger amount of money that the grant is already paying out, has paid out, can hopefully continue to pay out. So I'm kind of worried about that a little bit. I really do want to hear what Scott has to say because I got the impression that he was supporting suspending, not to talk for him, and I wanted to know what data he used to make that decision. So I'm when I look at it, I see that the BRIC grant, we have a lot more money out on that. We've already paid out a lot of money on that. If we as a board move too quickly to suspend work or stop it, my concern is that the grant won't get done and the town is liable for the payment, because who has the brick grant? The town does. So I don't want the town to have to next June pay out $150,000 because the grant didn't get completed, which is our duty as the board, is to make sure that it gets completed and that all the payments are worked the way they should be. Now, I've been looking at the payments, and I asked Terry to send that email to the whole board so we all have the same information. And all the pay apps look lined up. There's photocopies of something. There's a blurry section in each one. But when I do the math, it's the numbers underneath that photocopy blurry section that outlines what each person was getting paid and how much. And all of those numbers look good. All of those names look good down there. I'm not sure what that blurry section is, because it's got people's names and stuff on there that are not listed as being paid out. So I'd like to ask about that. But that aside, those are my main concerns, and I feel like I'm more responsible, besides suspending, because I haven't heard the argument for it yet. But when I look at all those numbers, I think we have three options, right? We could continue. I mean, we're 2-3 weeks away from hearing from OEM, Scott's investigation. The next report, monthly report, is due around the 9th of July. So we have a lot of information coming in the next 2-3 weeks. Well, 2 weeks, but 3 weeks till our next regular, well, yeah, meeting next week. And then,
Right.
so, okay, sorry, I get distracted. So my three things that I think would be optional to suspension is to wait for those things. The second one would be to just get another engineer to confirm work, right? And look at that work and what's it called? A peer review. And then the other one would be just to get another engineer and transfer all the work. I feel like those three things do not put us into jeopardy of not finishing the grant, because if we decide to go with another firm, we have ATAC continue to do the work while we pick the firm. And I mean, we could decide that next week. We could decide that in 3 weeks. And the work is continuing to get done. And ATAC knows that we're looking at someone else, and they're preparing their papers and getting it ready to hand off. So that allows that process to happen more quickly. We only have 11 months left, you know. Did we all like the different ideas for the mitigation? I don't think so, but we've had input from the community, and we can still give input on the presentation of things that are coming up, you know, and that's why they're, I would think, doing presentations instead of just paperwork. Okay. Sorry, I will stop there. That's my recommendation. Any one of those three things saves us from saying we, as the board, were responsible for stopping work. And that's what scares me.
All right, Trustee Kramer.
Well, I just think that, we were picked out of a very large group of people. Our little town was picked for this grant. Um, out of how many communities and how many people, and because of that, the nature of that, and that there were so few grants given out for this type of a study, that I think we need to um, be careful how we handle it and make sure that what we're doing is not going to harm us from the grant. The grant itself is a wonderful thing, and we all know we have issues, not only the the big flood that we had, the couple of big floods, but when we have large amounts of rain, we have issues in this town. And so to be able to get the studies done and have some plans, I think is is a very good idea, and it's very beneficial to the town to have this study paid for, that we don't have to, we don't have to pay for it because of the grant. So I would hate to throw that away by doing something wrong.
All right.
I
Trustee
do
Miller?
like your idea of kind of smoothly transitioning and maybe with another firm for now. There's just been too many things that haven't added up for me. If we could do that, I'd like to find a way. But you wanted to know what we want out of this grant, right?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we'll close up this motion and then maybe we can just do like a motion for discussion.
Okay.
Because this motion was really specifically about continuing this grant, basically as is. Trustee Ferguson, any input?
I think that we need to try to make a smooth transaction and, yeah. See how we can make it smooth.
Okay, so to follow up, there's an expectation that we're gonna get a lot of information from Scott. That we're gonna get a lot of information from OEM, that we're gonna get information from others that are basically gonna make the decision for us. I've learned enough, talked to enough people, seen enough, that's not really how it's gonna play out. But right now, my concerns about why I would not support just business as usual for another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We can go into consulting services agreement right here. Status of project incomplete. Only a cursory review. This is page 3 of the packet. Only a cursory review by Benish of the project documents has been accomplished. In addition, the sewer camera has been on rent for 2 months. The entire scope of work remains to be accomplished. In addition, the FEMA PERT grant activities are intertwined with ongoing projects such as the CMOM program update, wastewater facilities. I read that and I thought, this was February 9th, 2026. And the last update we got at the last meeting was very much a cursory review by a new firm that's, I guess, being subcontracted from ATAC. It very closely resembled the last preliminary we got at the public meeting when we did the public FEMA meeting. That was very much also preliminary, which very much fell in line with the other preliminary we got after we went to ATAC. So we've had our 4th preliminary. We're just getting started with this briefings, and we're well over $100,000 spent. I didn't find anything in the contract, and I was told that this is a bit of an oddity. I didn't find anything specifically granting the town the ability to approve changes to the team. Now you can look at page 5. Proposed scope to Anthony Theodoro. The town of Hermosa has required all the project files. ATAC will team with Dakota Headwaters and others as outlined in a detailed proposal in the attachment to complete all tasks of the grant. Mr. Fife is replacing the role that Maria Nealand had on the project team as CFM and some of the role that Mr. Vasquez had as a grant writer. To complete the project, ATAC has a tentative agreement with Edge AI to take over the rental of the sewer camera unit. This proposal was very personnel heavy, exceptionally personnel heavy. In fact, and all those personnel are no longer involved. We are still driving the same ship, but with a crew that we're still paying for the same crews with a crew that we didn't select. When we selected the initial crew, they got replaced by people we didn't. And from what I can tell, we haven't been given any opportunity to have any say in that. That's proven problematic. and probably part of why we keep getting preliminaries rather than a step in the direction toward actually getting something deliverable and complete. Now, nothing against Jason. Seems like this new firm that's gotten involved seems like they do know what they're doing. But a preliminary after 5 months is not okay. I don't see that as okay. Now, as far as the concerns about exposing to liability, I spoke with the OEM and the whole team agreed they see no downside to us suspending work. There's no increased exposure to liability, and considering that we're already not, we're still getting preliminaries after the months. And what was it, April of last year when we first did it with Benish? We've been on this grant for a long time, and we're looking at what we saw when we first got into it after a couple of months. We're still seeing the same thing, that 11, 12 months timeline. If we're saying that we need every minute of the, 18 months grant in order to get this done, and we're this far into it and still not really seeing on paper anything that's deliverable. Another nice thing they did mention is absolutely, if we choose to be cautious, if we choose to suspend, if we choose to just slow down, we can get extensions. There's no reason we can't apply for extensions. They want us to be careful. This is suspending until we know more information, until we can say that we're going to have a little bit more oversight on why the team member changes seem to be coming out of the blue, and what we're going to do when that happens if we continue to allow that to happen. But for now, one thing I can say that's an absolute fact that cannot be denied, Terry, we still have money that we have not gotten reimbursed yet, correct? And according to what we've been told, we will not see that in reimbursement until they're done looking at things. We're allowing work to continue that we may not be getting reimbursed for, possibly ever. So, and it's not small potatoes. It's not a few $1,000s here. It's $20,000 to $30,000 a month that we already know we have some that's at least suspended on reimbursement. How much further into the hole do we get before we say, oh well, yeah, now's the time? Is it going to be when we have $90,000 we still haven't been reimbursed for, 120,000? At what point do we say, all right, well now's the time to actually take action, not just kick the can down the road another 2 weeks? I see no risk postponing, so I won't support any more postponement. I think there comes a time to rip the Band-Aid off, and yeah. So, John.
Jerry, being an engineer, I'd like to hear his opinion on his thoughts of how another engineer is going to feel jumping in the middle of an already started project. I mean, I know it's only you're just one person, but you are an engineer, so.
I'm an engineer. I'm not a professional engineer, but I've done engineering for 33 years for the federal government. I didn't have to have my PE then. I've been involved in a lot of procurements. I've been involved in a lot of project evaluations. And I've wrote some pretty substantial and supported emails to the whole board about things that have gone wrong on this. Just one thing quick is task 3 is 100% complete. We have no deliverables. The board agreed, no, not this board, it was the 3 people who voted on it, was Trina, Linda, and Cal, to pay them for that without a single deliverable. And that was brought to you guys' attention beforehand. And then even after that, then I wrote other letters. There's places in there where people have, for John Burkhart, in the last meeting I attended, I said, John, I see that you did task 3. Where's our deliverables? I didn't do it. I said, well, you were billed for it. When you come up with, when a project is billed for, when you say somebody did the work, you investigate and find out they didn't do the work, that is very serious. That's very serious on federal level. And the town has some liabilities there that they're potentially looking at because They failed to do what they're supposed to do, make sure the money is being spent well, make sure that work is being done. That's what the responsibility of the board is. Now, that Joe comment about somebody else coming in and taking it over, I think it needs to be taken over because how much work is really done?
But how are you, my question is, do you think we're able to find someone willing to jump in the middle of another person's project?
I think,
And try to
I don't think there is,
understand what he's done or not done?
some of that stuff is, the town is not gonna get what they could have got. And I'll go back to the whole acquisition of this. It wasn't, the acquisition wasn't done properly. The expert that the town had was,
Headwaters.
Headwaters, Bridget from Headwaters. And where did she score Anthony's key? Third. On the bottom. And so if you look at that part, the acquisition on down, things haven't been done right. So now back to your comment, will another engineering firm come in? I don't think we'd have a problem with getting another engineering firm coming in. One of the engineering firms that actually bid on it would probably be willing to come in and do it. Now, is there,
For the dollars left, I guess I should have added.
for the dollars left, but the thing is, in order for us to get everything we need, and this is the thing that the board's gonna have to look at very seriously, is that I believe this was a bond on this. Was there a bond on this? Did the engineer have the bond? Was there a bond on this? Did the engineer?
I have to read it one.
Mm-mm.
I didn't think there was a
Well,
bond.
let's see, it's research grant, right? What are you gonna bond against? I think this is maybe the idea. We're not
We're not bonding,
bonded
we're
for a
gonna get
treatment
this.
plant. We're not bonded for a lagoon. We're bonded for information.
Yeah.
So maybe
But
that.
so, one of the thing is that, if you go back and look at the deliverables, there's things that are supposed to have been complied, and I put it in my emails, things that are supposed to have already happened that has not happened, but they rebuilt for them. I was, like I said, with the federal government for 33 years. I was like, for probably about 15 years of that, I was the contractors and officers, technical profession. And then what I did then is the contracting officer didn't approve anything to be paid until I and my team they had working for me said, yes, this work has been done and it's been done satisfactory. Now it needs to be done. And I've sat here and watched people pay him for things that has not been done, and they were identified to them that they hadn't been done, and they didn't question it. So what do I think needs to happen right now? What should have happened in that meeting when we talked about the deliverables not being there, you made a motion there, and I believe that we don't pay until we get some of this stuff, when we see some of those things. But 3 board members overruled you on that and paid. I think the work needs to stop. Am I saying, do we get rid of him? I'm not saying that right now, but right now the work needs to stop. We need to figure out where we are. Where are these deliverables? Stop the work. And if you want to, then I would recommend, where are these deliverables? Where are they? Can you show them to us? And if you can't show them to you, that means you didn't do the work. And that's from like the technical part of it and the evaluation part of it. But then the other part is very serious when he billed for John Burkhart that he did the work and he didn't do it. He built for Troy Oates and he didn't do it. Okay, if Troy Oates didn't do the work, who did the work? And if you guys already paid ATAC for what Troy Oates did, then who got that money? That's where our problem is. And it's not sitting here thinking, well, where are our vulnerabilities? the thing is where is your responsibility to the citizens? Where's your responsibility to the taxpayers is what needs to be looked at. And yes, you know, I don't think it would be a problem having someone come in and look at it. Because the thing is what did you guys see? What project have you seen that shows for that $100,000 or more? Isn't that right, Terry? About 100,000 we paid out so far.
A little over.
What's that?
I think it's just a little over.
A little lower than that, yeah.
A little over.
A little over.
Over.
So that's a lot of money without having anything. And especially when a task, each task has what it's supposed to have for deliverable, and it's not there. You know, I think the work needs to be like, I think the motion, would have been that, yes, we suspend the work, and then we go back and look into it in more depth. You know, what deliverables are it? Maybe he has them. Maybe he just hasn't given them to you yet. But if the person who was supposed to have done the work and was billed as doing the work, John Burkhart, for the task 3 stuff on the sewer engineer stuff, didn't even know that he was being billed for. Who did the work? Is the work done? And then where did that money go? You know, where are the patients? You guys need to ask, and I think this was in my email that I sent, and you guys asked the attorney to look at that, but all the way down to the pay slips and their time cards. I've dealt with engineering firms and consultants for, like I said, the government. You didn't really do the work. You monitored other people doing the work. And we looked at all of their stuff. And they need to look at that stuff in detail. Is who was getting paid? Where did that money go? Did the work get done? If it did, okay, show us. And then still tell us who did the work. But if they won't show us the work, well, where's the money? You got to follow the money trail. You guys have no other option, I don't see, than others just saying, okay, today when you say you're terminating, you're just saying don't do no more work, because you don't want to incur any more costs or any more bills, and then go back and say, okay, really what needs to be done and what we did in the federal government, we send out cure notices. And we give them 30 days to,
Respond.
But in this case, we're past our 30 days. The current, it needs to be a notice that goes out and says, okay, you owed us these deliverables. Where are they? The stuff is terminated. And then you give them you give them a certain amount of days to fix it, but you don't keep working while you're waiting during those 30 days. You say, okay, this is a cure notice. You stop working on what we're doing. And these are the things that we want to see. These are the things that you were supposed to show to us. We haven't. And ask for the stuff, because you guys need to look at it. I mean, you got to be sitting up there and wondering, like, Trina, where'd the money go? Who has that money? We paid for John Burkhart to do that work. John Burkhart sat in a meeting. I don't know if I'm my hand in for you. But
Boy, I think I just found something very important here. Sorry, Gary.
Yeah.
4.3.2, neither consultant nor client shall assign or transfer any rights or under or interest in, including but without limitation, monies that may become due or monies that are due this agreement without the written consent of the other party, except as stated in paragraph 4.3.1. Yeah, I think that's it. There is the changing team members without our consent. I think. Anyway, that's good to know. I'm gonna circle that one with a big old.
I don't think we'd have trouble finding another engineering firm to take this over if you want to answer John's question. And I don't think we will. I think my biggest concern has been since the get-go is are we going to get something that's usable? Because it's not like we're building the lagoon and you can watch as the dikes go up and you say, boy, this really looks nice. This is, okay, with the route we were heading, and until you guys changed it, the route you were going, is that what we're supposed to be getting is a 60%. It doesn't, when you go back and you ask the question, well, what do you guys want to see you get out of it? Well, it doesn't make any difference what you guys see, what you want to get out of it now. It's what's written down, what we want to get out of it. And that is a 60% design and also the design of the projects. And then also to get a grant packet put together to be able to go out and get the funds for those projects, to finish the design and to implement those projects, get the money for that. Well, what my concern is unless, without no.
I'm gonna have to cut you off,
Yeah.
Terry, soon. It's been,
Yeah.
you got like a final
Just
line.
finish one
Yeah.
thought here, and then I'll stop. But what my concern is when we got the 60, we were to get the 60%, and we would have got the grant package put together, and then we would have gave it to them, to someone, to submit and say, hey, now here's our stuff, give us a grant, and they would have looked at it and says, no, this isn't good enough.
That's actually one of the first questions I started asking repeatedly once things started looking a bit concerning with this is, what happens if you get to the finish line and we don't have these 3 proposals? What if it's not good enough? What if it doesn't exist at all? What if it just doesn't satisfy FEMA? What happens if we spend this grant and don't get the product? And everybody said the same thing. No idea. Never seen that before. Everybody said the same thing. I don't know what'll happen. I've never seen that before. This situation is looking strange. As far as whether or not we can get another engineer, we've watched the subcontractor subcontract to other engineers that could have otherwise completely taken over the grant. This last guy said how many 3 PEs in their firm at least? Very, very highly experienced, lots of essentially subcontracted to a more qualified competitor. If we look at the metrics that we were given from Headwaters and everything, it's being subcontracted right now to a more qualified firm by a large margin. As from what I can tell, there's not a single person directly employed by ATAC right now who has qualifications for this brick grant. There was, they're gone. They left or.
And that was one of the greatest concerns from the very beginning, excuse me.
Right.
But that was their concern from the very beginning. That's why I'm saying the whole acquisition, I don't want to use the word bastardized, but it was. It was not done correctly.
What I was kind of reading from is a clause in the contract, and it does seem to say we have a fair amount of say in delegation, or at least we can leverage that. And I don't see any reason why any of the original team members who were put up on that slideshow for that first half hour, 45-minute presentation, I don't see how any of them ever should have been replaced without us being talked to first. Not, oh, here's my new guy I found. It's, all right, we had somebody leave. We found other options for who might replace them. We're here to talk to you about it. No, it was, all right, we got to get another body in that seat so we can keep writing the invoices. It's to say the quiet part out loud. We need to make sure we can continue invoicing. And that's the path we are on and we've been on is we've seen a situation where things are being done in order to make sure there's invoices flowing, not necessarily work getting done. I've seen some of the deliverables. The deliverables we were supposed to get one of the previous team members. There's 24 or more at least models out there that were done but never paid for. And that's part of the concern that
Billed for, but was never.
Billed for, never, the subcontractor was never paid, so the deliverables were never turned over, which is, I I mean, you know, if the subcontractor isn't gonna get paid, then why should he turn over the work he's done?
Well, it's here. The whole
no,
board
it's-
doesn't have the.
No, it's
we-
not.
We as a board need to have all of the information to make the proper decision. And you're bringing stuff to us as though, you know, you've seen it,
The root
but
word
we
of our,
have not seen it. We have not seen that information. We need to see it.
what is our position called? The five of us, what are we called? What is our title?
Board of Trustees.
Trustee. What's the root word?
Trust.
Trust. Are we ever gonna get to a point where I don't find it funny.
No, I.
Like not.
we-
Okay, let me,
No, there's trust. There's trust, but there's actual documentation that we need so that we can justify that we have each done our due diligence to know what the information is. I'm not saying I don't trust that you've seen that stuff. What I'm saying is you're talking about having access to data that none of us have. And we need that
It's not access. It was like, oh, like just letting you know, I have all this. As soon as I get paid, you'll get it, but I'm still not getting paid. Part of the investigation. Unpaid subcontractors of federal money is not something to just kick down the road.
It's not fair to ask the board members to make a decision based on you saying that. We need to have the document in front of us so that we can say, I just made this decision because Aaron wanted it, or I just made this decision because Cal wanted it. No, I need to be my own voice here, based on what's presented to me. So that's why I'm asking. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to be, well informed and be able to back up why I vote the way I vote. So that's why I laughed a little bit, because it's not that I don't trust you. It has nothing to do with trust. It has to do with being able to have the documents.
the documents
Okay,
in front of
all
us.
right. So, all right. Documents mentioned, models. I don't have access to them. I've seen them. They're out there. We won't get access to them until the contractor's been paid, contractors refusing to pay. I can't give you those models because of unethical activity going on in the chain. I wish I could show you all the models and say, here's how it was supposed to be done. Here's what we would have. I can't. I don't know what other documentation you want, but as far as the decision we can make tonight, we've all been at the meetings where we watched preliminary after preliminary after preliminary. We all have the contract here we can make decisions from. We all know it was not the lowest bid. We all know there's currently nobody at ATAC qualified to do this. And the only time there is when it's being subcontracted. These are facts we all know. These are facts.
I don't know about the qualified thing. Why do you say that?
There are no there are no employees at ATAC that are flood experts. They've always been, and from what I can tell, always will be subcontracted.
Mhm.
And why subcontract when we could contract directly?
I wanted to make a comment.
Sorry, Jones had her hand up for a while.
Well, I think what everyone's trying to say here is if you know there's a subcontractor that has done work and not got paid, his name and who didn't pay him, all that information should have went to all board members
They did.
and they would have
It
that documentation.
You signed by that?
All of it, if y'all would read your emails the way I read my emails, it all got to everyone. I've seen all the CC lists. Everybody's seen all of that. This is we have all had access to it. Whether or not it's been reviewed by everybody is not something I can control, but we've all gotten the email.
Can I just give you some numbers?
Yeah.
So we want to know what we've paid. So thus far, we have paid out for the FEMA grant, $146,939.71. Of that, we've been reimbursed $81,811.71. So there's a remaining balance of $65,128. Part of that was I submitted one of ATAC's 28470, and that's the one that's being held up why they investigated. And then I still have another one to submit about 36,000, but I don't have the summary report to go with that. So I haven't submitted it yet. But just to give you an idea what, that's how much money we paid out.
So part of it was submitted, part of it not.
Yeah, we've got,
So we couldn't have gotten the other part that has not been
we got
submitted.
65,000 out there
Okay, gotcha.
that's kind of what's in question.
Well, I don't know. I still, the documentation, like when you started the meeting, you said you spoke to OME and they said this. I want to see it on paper.
That's trust. That's a trust factor. I'm gonna call that a trust factor.
Okay.
We can agree to disagree on that, but
Yeah, thank you. Because like I said,
They're
it
all-
is the paper. And James was supposed to be here and he's not here. I mean, this is. And God help me for even saying this, but I have to. If it were Mr. Halsworth sitting in that chair and you sitting out here,
No,
You-
no.
you
That-
would,
we ain't going
no,
that way.
yes, we are, because
Well,
it's
I
a part,
just wanna hear
a
everybody.
part of the proof. You would expect him to deliver you the proof. And so that's all I'm asking for now is the proof. See, does that make sense to you? I don't know. I don't mean to say,
I have right now.
I don't
We have no
see
deliverables
same.
for our money.
Well, we cut him off in the meeting. He was presenting
That-
new information
It
out
was
there.
preliminary. It was all preliminary again.
There was information that he was presenting.
That I have
we
never
had
seen before.
Never seen before.
And that's the truth.
And he started by talking about the cost analysis of the Ferguson edition, $2.9 million. We'd never heard that before. He showed us some of the drawings. We may not have liked the drawings, but they are what we had been talking about because the very first task was the workshop. And they got citizen input. What do we want to cover? We want to cover these things. We want to mitigate the flooding along the railroad. Well, here's how they're suggesting we do that. And that's just one way. I said, gosh, I don't want that huge berm up there. That's ugly. Well, that's one way to build structure. And if you read the grant, the other ways are to do a pond, there's very specific directions in this grant. They have to show.
We're really very much in the weeds when this motion is whether or not to approve ATAC.
So
This
Okay.
conversation isn't going to be one of those where we go on and on and on and on and on and on
right.
until the desired result is the only one everybody's so exhausted they just.
Let's not do that. But let me.
I'm gonna let Trustee Ferguson has not said much.
I don't know if this is even legit right now. But you know what I feel? I feel we have an engineer that has this whole damn town under lock and key, and none of us can get to anything.
That's another issue we'll have to address later.
We tried to go down to the lagoon the other day, and there's a padlock on there. I bet the padlock costs $100. It's got this big ass code on it. Well, of course we did. We had the keys for the thing, but we couldn't get in it. So I was gonna crawl through the fence, and Faye said, no, don't do that. She said, it's not that important. We, as trustees of this town, was put here by the citizens of this town, and the engineer is running this town, not us.
That's accurate statement, which is something we'll have to deal with a little later in the evening, but definitely valid point. And this is another thing is this whole brick grant. Who's working on it? Completely out of our control. What happens when they have a falling out? Completely out of our control. What are the three? Have we ever given input on what we think the three projects should be? I don't recall us ever having a meeting where the board members.
We have
In the past.
In the past,
They were, yes, when the grant was submitted.
That's not done. You
That's
can't change
done.
it now.
Yeah, I mean, that was, we can't help it that the board changes.
Different than what was in the other
I know what you're asking.
details.
Bottom line,
So-
we are not getting reimbursed for this money.
That is the bottom line.
That is it.
And I'm gonna
And we
say
can't-
one more. Yeah, one
We
more
can't
from each
pay
trustee. And then
anything.
we'll vote. Go ahead. Sorry. One more input from each trustee, and then we go to a vote. We can spin this top for the next 6.
Well, okay, let me ask you, what is it you want out of this?
After this motion, I'd like to have, I was hoping to have that conversation out of the gate before it got all tense and
It's not
feelings
that.
driven
Not,
essentially.
no, it's
But-
not that. It's information driven.
That's,
It's
yeah, that's.
time driven.
That's
And-
separate from
and-
this motion, but I'll get
And
to it.
so,
Well, you're asking for each of our input, so I'll just give mine first, so you guys can all go after if you want. The OEM, is investigation is about how we voted. They, sent us a letter and it said that they needed the remaining trustee input by the 3rd. That's this Friday. So, I mean, we won't hear back from them by the 7th, but we probably will hear back from them. I'm 90% sure by the 21st, because they're efficient company, department, that's for sure. Anthony's review on task, 2 is due in July. I think I have 2 or 3 here. But I know that's due in July, so we'll probably hear from him on Tuesday. I know we will hear from him on Tuesday.
How do you know that?
Because I called him and asked him if he was back from vacation, and he said yes.
So how could it be back?
So, I mean, if we put it on the agenda, we'll hear from him. Scott James, letter said that he wanted, information back from ATEC on the 7th, so by the 21st, we'll have that information. Again, this is why I feel like we're just jumping the gun a little bit. And we might have to financially pay for that. I feel like all of this could be resolved before the 21st or on the 21st at the latest, depending on James. James. That's all.
All right. Who else still needs their final input? I just want to close out this motion and then see how it goes and any more final input, trustees.
Yeah, I think we should suspend it for now. And see if we get reimbursed, see how it all ends up. And then we can go from there. I mean, if you said we can get an extension, and hopefully keep this grant. That's.
I would like to see the paperwork that says we can get an extension.
Don't have paperwork on that tonight, but it's a team, and this is, I guess, to summarize what I gathered candidly from my discussions, from my communications, they want us to be cautious, to take responsibility from what's for how things have played out so far, and do what we need to do to stop the bleed. We won't necessarily get anything long. There's this want for documentation. We won't necessarily get anything very substantial from them. That's not something we can super rely on. If we get something substantial, unfortunately, something really substantial is more likely to come from the state's attorney or the sheriff's office.
Well, that's what I would like to see. I mean, I would like to see all the.
I don't want to hear a problem with my car, see the check engine light on, and really hope I get home before the engine blows. I don't want to do that. I don't like doing that. I think that's a catastrophically bad idea. When if you stopped on the side of the road and found your oil's low and you can put a couple of quarts of oil in there and get back on the road next week, or you blow your engine. If those are your two options, I'd rather stop right there on the side of the road and check the oil. Yeah, I like that metaphor. I think we should stop and check the oil on the brick grant before we blow the engine.
Yay.
But anyways, I think we can go ahead and let's vote. Vote with your heart, your mind, whatever you feel you got to vote for. There's 5 of us for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
So all those in favor of, if you could reread the motions.
To continue with ATAC and wait for the attorney with updates.
All right.
Say that again. The last part, I didn't hear.
Wait for the attorney.
Oh, yeah, right, that's right.
All right. All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please say aye.
Hi.
All those opposed to the motion on the floor, please say nay.
Nay.
Okay, and I will go ahead and say nay also. Motion failed. Okay. That discussion was long. We did a lot already. All right, would anybody like to make another motion, whether it's to just discuss a little bit more about the grant or something to actually take action? Anybody have any motions they would like to make?
Yes, I'm trying to put it together.
Take your time.
Or we can amend it. I'll just say, I'd like to move to suspend FEMA brickwork and payments pending the outcomes of the investigations. Leave it at that.
Which investigation?
We probably should. Well, motion, I
Well-
guess I'll say motion made. Do we have a second? And if we need to amend. All right, motion made and seconded. Would you like to start discussion?
I feel like investigations is unclear. We've been talking about Scott James and then the OEM. Is it specifically those two? Those are the only two we know of as a board, right? I mean, Aaron hinted at something else that's not public or definite.
State's attorney, sheriff's department, OEM. They're the ones I know of.
Yeah.
But as the state's attorney,
As far as I
given
know,
us-
they themselves haven't started poking the bear. I really hope they never do. We don't want to get doged.
So I would like to amend the motion to include which investigations. So which investigations?
Should we, all of them?
Which one? I mean, so Scott James,
Mm-hmm.
OEM, procurement.
And state's attorney.
Attorney, yeah, yeah.
Do we know that there's a state's attorney? I mean, do we?
All right,
officially
so
know?
the state's attorney and the sheriff's office are law enforcement, and law enforcement investigations are not going to be discussed openly in public until they're done.
Yeah, you've mentioned it and Scott James has mentioned it, but
And
then
that's all you get is there's an ongoing investigation. You won't get anything else until it's done. Nobody's
until it's decided that there's something to charge or not, right? So we
OEM
can we
and-
say, yeah, OEM
And Scott James.
Scott James.
Yeah.
I think
So I would say OEM and town attorney, right?
You're fine.
All right, so we have an amendment motion. Who made that?
Trina.
Trina made an motion to amend. Do we have a second for the amendment?
Second thought.
All right, trustee Miller seconds. All right, any further discussion on the amendment specifically? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
I'll abstain.
All right. Trustee Kramer?
Okay, I'm abstaining or naying, whichever you want, I don't care.
Okay,
So,
it's just an amendment. All right. Amendment passed. Okay, so now the full motion is suspend pending, any further trustee discussion on this one? Any citizen input on this one before we close this out?
This is just, you're just,
This is suspend payment and work pending the, I guess, outcome of the investigations by the town attorney, Mr. Stiles,
And OEM.
and OEM.
I think it's a very good move. At this point in time, you're not saying you're getting rid of ATAC. What you're saying is you're just gonna stop. You're gonna wait until the investigation comes, everything gets looked at. I still think that the board still needs to do some type of a cure notice. And maybe you can't do that until you get the investigations back. That would be something to be done later. But I just think it's the only responsible thing that the board can do right now is do that, because the board has paid for things that they have not seen the deliverables on. And They made those payments knowing they did not see those deliverables, knowing those deliverables were done. So when you start talking about wanting to see documentation, they should have been talking about, I want to see that documentation before I pay, not now. So that's all my comment. Thank you.
Better now than never.
I mean,
Well, and on that note, this action isn't just talk. This would be an action. This would be, we're not paying anymore. We're not allowing any more work for right now. This would be a really, really good time to provide us with a stack of deliverables that you know will be satisfying. Whether that happens, I guess, we'll see. But if I were in a position of the contractor right now, I'd be saying, all right, well, I'm going to make sure I've got everything lined up, ducks in a row, and here's my deliverables. But that's what I would do as a professional. But all right, any further discussion? Connie,
Maybe I don't really know, but like, was there a date that these deliverables were supposed to be submitted to you? Like, what was the date that these were due by?
the phases didn't really have dates attached.
they didn't have dates attached to them, but when you bill for 100% on a phase, that means I'm done with that.
It's like a
Where are those
milestone, right?
deliverables?
Like closing a chapter, kind of. You should, yeah.
Well, if it's done, then he should be supplying us with all the paperwork.
The deliverables should have been there when you requested for payment. That's how you do. That's
How
how
do
you.
we investigate where the
And
money
this
went?
isn't a small amount of data. We could have like
Yeah.
gigabytes and gigabytes of data, but it's not small, these models.
The commitment letter with ATAC was signed February 9th. And so the assumption is that the reports would be due on the 9th of each month or around the 9th of each month. If that helps.
Okay, Mr. Stiles, final comments?
And she made a comment about the 9th of each month, there should have been a report. Well, what should have been reported on the 9th of that month when they came in with the bill for that phase 3 at 100%, really what should have been part of the report that happened at that time is here are the deliverables for that, as an example. And that didn't happen, but I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Any further? Joan?
Well, his quarterly report that he has to do, well, actually, Terry does it, he sends it to the state. But in order to do that report, he has to send a list of what he's accomplished in the last 90 days. Well, anything on that list should have been already billed and received by the board. And so that's how to go back and look at what he said he's done. If he didn't put it on his invoice, it should be in the quarterly report.
When's your next quarterly report due? July, isn't it?
Oh, no.
July 15th?
You know, you have,
Yeah. I think last week.
Because you did the first one April, right? April 15th.
I got it in the office.
Okay.
All right. So just my only final note, and I don't know if this is something everybody else is thinking, but I'm not assuming any outcome from these investigations. All I know right now is that we have money out that we're not 100% certain we're getting back, and we need to just. I would like to think we can just make sure that worst case scenario isn't worse than it would already be. Joan?
the last letter said they were waiting for yours and Donna's report to be sent in. And if you do that in a timely manner, or had done it in a timely manner, maybe the investigation would come to a conclusion.
That's got absolutely very little bearing, but
That's what she asked for specifically.
Jerry.
What they're asking for, Linda, I think is a double-edged sword. Because it is very, very specific in the request for proposal that went out that every contractor answered and how they were going to be graded. In that it was very specific. These are the items you're going to be graded on.
Page 9.
And then if people are sending and think, well, we picked them because of this or that, well, no, really, you should have, what they really want to see and what should have been there is when the evaluation team who did it, there should have been a matrix done out, put together. These are the items that they're being graded on. And firm 1, 2, 3, this is what we look, this is what I graded them. Each one does it individually. You come back and tabulate it. So it's almost, I think what they're asking is almost a double-edged sword. It's like, okay, you tell us why you chose, and then they're gonna come back and say, well, you didn't follow what was in, page 9.
Yeah, but also I think if you did vote for him, which is fine, then maybe they want to know why. Maybe you did read those 9 and he didn't fit anywhere in them. I mean, so yeah, they asked for your response, and I think that you
They
should,
got it, just not in writing. I'll put it in writing.
well, they wanted it in writing.
I know.
Ready,
And I've got to collect the letters, and they want them all in a package from me. So once Donna and Brandon get theirs done, I'll bundle them all together. We got a few more days, but I would say Wednesday. Let's see if we can get those done by Wednesday. I said 9. There's no expectation of they got 2. There's no expectation of exactly what that letter is. It doesn't have to be a 5-page essay. It could be a paragraph. Just why you yeah. All right. We're in the weeds a little bit maybe. Any further discussion on this motion on the floor?
What is the motion on?
Now you're voting on the original motion, which is suspend FEMA brickwork and payments pending outcome of the investigation by town attorney and OEM.
Didn't we vote on that one?
We
Vote
voted
on the
on.
amendment to add those specific investigations, and now you gotta vote on the original.
As amended.
That's what we have.
All right. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
2 nays, 3 ayes. Motion passes. We will probably touch base on this at every meeting, I'm sure, in some fashion. Maybe we should put something running under the on the agenda of.
We used to have another town FEMA updates. We could discuss this a bit.
Yeah.
This is a special meeting.
Yeah. I'll think a bit of where we want to slot it in. I just really want to keep the stuff in the beginning of the agenda, make sure it's the stuff the citizens are really here for. So the citizens are waiting 3 hours while we go through stuff that they probably don't really want to be here or don't particularly care to be here.
We need an action item for this motion that we just passed to have Terry contact ATAC, or who's going to contact ATAC and tell them that work is suspended tomorrow.
Quick email. I can send an email. You can send an email. Somebody will send an email.
It needs to come from the town office.
All right. Terry, you want to just send him an email, just with the motion included? And I don't know, should we CYA certified letter, or is that too overzealous? Certified letter too. Yeah, maybe a certified email plus a certified letter to the address of business. Yeah, I think that's the safe bet.
Somebody uses a PO box number, but else.
Just covering bases, right? Okay. So I think that item's done. Can we take a few minutes recess? These others should be pretty quick, but
Dessert time now.
Where's the dessert? Didn't you bring any?
yeah, 5 minutes.
No, I mean these other agenda items.
Oh, okay.
It's not super.
Okay.
I was hoping to have more positive before we get into the frustrating.
It's not frustrating.
It's a little bit.
supposed to be down tomorrow. Steve's fishing tomorrow. Fishing, bite. Have you been fishing?
Yeah, but they've been biting, but we have a limit on, it's a 15-inch limit.
Yeah.
And you can catch all kinds of 14 and a half.
Isn't that the
14 and
truth?
3/4.
I've heard that.
I don't know, how's it at Angus Ford? I haven't heard.
Angostura has been very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, he's come home with a lot of 20-inchers, so that's been nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but his buddy that fishes in Ormond, not Ormond, Oahe,
Yeah.
man, he had one after another. He had some that were 30 inches the other.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Lucky
Yeah.
dog.
Lake Francis Cave, were
Yeah.
all the big ones in March and April is when they got all the big ones there.
Yeah.
And now my granddaughter was here for a week and we went out fishing. She got a 20 and a half inch.
Oh,
That, oh man.
nice. Nice.
And she probably caught, that day we caught over 40 feet. 40 fish, we only got 5 keepers.
Mm.
So,
Well, it's nice to catch them though.
oh, that's what you got.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to keep busy and regardless.
Yes, I was the one that had to clean them.
Yeah. You're right.
Cleaning 5 was probably
Right. Yeah. Well, good. I haven't even been out. I've been working so much. Yesterday, no. What is today? It's Monday today. Yeah, yesterday was my first day in the park. Day before.
At that time, before, the public whoever can pick which one of those four are all four, if you want to try putting them like that. And do that. But you can't change it now.
It's
Because it's.
I don't know about that, but this wind has been drying up our grass.
the original ones. And then
I just keep watering them.
was the intersection.
Saturday morning, I went and got more flowers.
And that was.
Did you? Good for you.
I had a birthday gift card for Jolly Lane. This is the only way to afford anything at Jolly Lane.
Yeah, I have one that I haven't used.
Yeah.
That I keep thinking, well, maybe this week we'll see what happens, you know. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll buy a sculpture or something if I don't get.
There's a new guy putting sculptures out at Jolly Lane, and they're metal, but they're all colorful.
They lower the number that we should.
Yeah, reds and oranges and blues and whites all in the same little.
Somebody.
He's got little rats and little panthers and little motorcycles.
Cute.
When we was that is.
So I was surprised to see that.
He was influenced,
There were 3 of you out there.
influenced in the engineer.
Oh, we weren't talking anything.
I was on the phone with my mom.
Thanks.
Pardon me?
I was on the phone with my mom.
How's your mom? Good. Glad to hear that.
Everybody good with that?
7:12.
Okay. Reconvene at
7:12.
7:12. Item B, water tank leak permit and mitigation. I think everybody kind of is aware that the tank on the hill is leaking. But what I was not made aware of until today, talking to DANR, is that it is chlorinated water. So we're technically discharging right now. We do need to fill out a permit for that. They sent me the permit. This would probably be John. I'd like to, or if the water committee wants to meet with him and go through it with him and get this permit done. And I think it would be very good for a board member to be there so we can learn firsthand a part of this process, but it's not a big deal. We just have to have the permit in place. The ditch, they have no concern about us. It's all on us. They have no concern at all. I did bring up, I want to bring up Silversmith. So we've got, the leak is here and it's kind of running all here. Now Linda talked about bringing it up here and over here, but when we walked the property and there, I looked at the drawings, there are 2 drain lines connected to the system and valved in. One is right about here The other was right about here. I think if we can get this clean and we cut a ditch around here, culvert our little access, maintenance access, and get that ditch all the way out here and sent straight down here. I think this is actually because they have some hose kind of hodgepodge together that was kind of hodgepodge hooked to one of these lines, and it kind of looks like that's the result of it. But if we can get a proper ditch cut, it's 2 to 3 weeks, I think, still for the divers to get out. But we want it to be a place where water is coming out, whether it's because it's an accident like a leak or because we need to dump or whatever, that where we have it channeled off that hill. Volunteers lined up. I still have to verify that we can borrow an excavator for
I think B&C said it's sold.
and get that cut.
Can I say something real quick here?
Mhm.
Is there any way to divert that water into that underground tank that you were wanting to use?
To divert the surface water,
Uh-huh.
the leak.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't want to put anything into that tank when. Terry was going to mention to the Midco to maybe if they can take a peek at that in-ground tank too, while if they're all going to be here, so we can know exactly what the status of it is. It's 33,000 gallons. Looked at the paperwork. The tall one is actually 300 something thousand gallons. Or 300,000 something gallons. Yeah, I thought it was in the hundreds, but the tall one is 300 and something, and the short one is 127. So we're with the new tank, we're 2/3 of a million gallons.
It's good.
We're really up there.
It's very good. Yeah. Well, it would just be, well, it would be putting the water somewhere safe. It's already a tank. I mean, couldn't we somehow pump it there? And then we could pump it out or use it for, whatever, watering, bulk. Could you get, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of other ways to, I know that tank's there, and you've been wanting to do something with that
So
tank.
it's already valved to the north well. As long as the 2009 drawings are still relatively accurate to the valve system that's up there and nothing's been taken out,
Mhm.
we're already plumbed from the north tank to that underground tank. So if we see that it's good, we can fire up that well and get that tank filled and start. And that discharge, the one discharge line here is plumbed in such a way that it is connected to that tank and can be isolated. So we can even set it up to where we tap off that line.
That doesn't do anything to the leak.
No, but
I'm talking about the leak. And I was just, we have to, the tank before it's really used would have to be cleaned anyway. This would be chlorinated water going in it, which wouldn't hurt it. It wouldn't be probably a total cleaning process, but it might help. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a way to save the water, I guess.
we'd
Rather
have to
than,
dig a sump. We'd have to dig a sump pit and have some.
right, okay, I get that, yeah.
The other side of this is I couldn't find anybody that has pre-filled sandbags, but we do need to bag it because it's going to be at least a few weeks till the divers are in there. It's going to keep leaking. The ditch isn't going to get dug in a day, and that water is making an absolute mess up there.
So what is the sandbagging gonna do?
We could divert it. So there's that.
Okay, well, if that's what you're talking about. Well, we could dig a ditch and I can go up there and.
This would be like could be done in a couple of days or a day. Just get it bagged here and get this water running over this way instead of continuing over here.
Why don't you just put a bunch of bubble gum and little stick in them?
If we do that, if we bag it and then have a sump and then put a sump pump in there, we would want to discharge it for a while until it's not debris and everything. We still want to run that pump basically until we got a clean sump. But I mean, we could dig a sump, line it with riprap, and essentially have a nice clean sump pit. I don't know about pumping the water into the tank. That's something we probably want to
Is that something we'd need to check with the DNR? I mean, I don't know, but it's just a thought, you know?
Connected to the drinking water system.
It is, that's the thing, it is plumbed in.
But not usable.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have to check that out.
What, do we know exactly why it was abandoned? Jerry?
Oh, just back to the permit on it. One of the things, based upon, we had similar situations out of Ellsworth. And I don't want to be like, oh, this happened in Michigan, but this happened in Ellsworth. But anyway, your permit's gonna have you, you're gonna get a permit, and it's gonna tell you you can't, it's gonna give you a limit on what you're chlorinating. So when you divert that, you're gonna have to dechlorinate it. And you can do it a couple different ways. You can, even like on the base, when we flush fire hydrants, we had to flush it such that, it either, went against the platter and went up, so the chlorine would be aerated and then it'd go out, or you just run it through capsules. And I can't remember its diets, starts with a D.
Diatomaceous earth?
No, it's just, no, it
Starts with a D.
It's a chemical, what it does is it inhibits, it takes the free available chlorine out of it. Because you can't discharge water that's chlorinated into the waters of the US. And what they call the waters of the US is any ditch that can potentially
Go
handle
to.
it. And so one of the things you're gonna wanna be looking at is when you do the ditch and stuff like that, you wanna be thinking about, where am I gonna put these capsules? Just like you gotta do the same thing when they superchlorinate a water pipe. And make sure it's clean. Before they can't just discharge that, they got to discharge it so in such a way that it gets dechlorinated at that same time. I apologize for not remembering. It starts with a D.
No problem. I'm sure Mark will be able to, or somebody over there will be able to tell us. But, on the other side, it's not just this leak that we've had issues up here with water flow, right? We have stormwater issues with the rainwater washing out gravel and everything
Oh,
else.
yeah, hard rain, yeah.
So we're kind of, I look at this as an opportunity to kind of kill two birds. But yeah, that's something we're gonna have to look into. Another thing completely unrelated, I was talking to Faye the other night, and I filled my water bottle. I was like, wait, our water tastes good. So John must have lowered the chlorine because I can't taste it. I can still smell it, but I can't taste it. Right?
I can smell.
Yeah.
I turned my soaker can smell just like chlorine.
But it wasn't like I was drinking. It wasn't like I was swimming. I drank it. I drank the water since I moved here, and I'm still alive. So.
I occasionally smell chlorine, but I mean, it's very rare and very rare. Once a week usually is when I smelled it, but and I don't know.
Do we have a motion?
No. I wasn't really sure if there was necessarily going to be any action anybody want to take. I just wanted to get it all out there because it is kind of this ongoing thing and it is a problem.
It's a problem, and in my opinion, it's a problem that something needs to be done with very soon. Have you been up there today or yesterday?
No.
See, I was up there
There's
yesterday.
erosion. That's one thing that's really concerning me is there is erosion. That tank it does have a foundation.
I know. So I'm just saying that where the water was diverted the last time, I mean, it was coming down one way, and then John dug a little ditch, or somebody did, to divert it. Okay. Now that place is totally saturated also. So we need to divert it again before anybody gets there, Aaron. It's bad.
Well, if somebody had said I can drop you off 2 pallets of sandbags tomorrow, ideally what I would want to do is sandbag around that, like right along the foundation, and just keep it on the foundation until we get it where we want it to be, and then run it down. And even if that means we go up there with a truck of riprap so it stops the erosion, because that would stop erosion if we lay down a layer of riprap so the water's running over the riprap instead of running over the dirt. That would kill the erosion.
But it can't go the same place it's going now, or that it was going before. They're too saturated.
We need it to go.
It either has to go that way or both. divide it in half and go both ways, whatever, but yeah, something needs to be done. So, and I mean, I can shovel a few shovels full of dirt and that's about the end of me, so,
I could probably do one.
okay. Well,
If you're looking at filling sandbags, one of the things you can do, you don't have to put in a lot of electrical line primary, you have to bed it in sand. And the easiest way, I just called one of the ready mix companies, came out with a truckload of sand, just pure sand. And then I just bed it. Well, you could do the same thing there. Say you wanted to fill 100, 100 or 200 bags, if you just go buy the sandbags and then just have the truck comes out, you have the bag underneath it, it's coming down just like concrete would come down, bag it, throw it, bag it, throw it.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at easy way to bag it, so that's a little bit easier than,
shoveling.
that's easier than getting a dump load of it,
Yeah.
dump truck load of it, and then shoveling it in the bags. So,
Oh, what a time to have a dump trailer.
yeah, but still that's, when it comes straight out of down the chute,
The
right
chute.
into the bag. And then that's the most efficient and the least amount of labor.
Yeah.
So. But then you need a motion to do something like that.
So I called Pete Leans, they said they don't have bag ready, like already bagged with it.
No. But you could probably go to, who might have some.
The National Guard would have some that we could use.
I know that the base we always had some bagged up and set and waiting. But I don't know if where you'd go to find the bags. You'd probably Google where you buy them.
Bag you can get at Menards.
Yeah.
Ace,
Then
whatever.
if you get them in then
Yeah,
all you have to do
burlap
is
bags, yeah.
then just, instead of when you call Pete Lee again and say, I want a load of sand. I want 3 cubic yards of sand. Or go with whatever the smallest amount is without having to pay extra for the trucks.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're gonna order it, you might as well order it through Amazon because I think they're cheaper than even Menards, I mean, just a thought, the bags, not the sand, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're doing it, I mean, I'm just throwing things out there, save money,
We need, well, if we're gonna do anything that's of any substance tonight, we need a budget. I mean, I don't know, we're not gonna wait till the next meeting, right, before we
What's our emergency
accomplish something.
limits? Do we have them? I asked this before and I can't remember the answer.
We don't really have,
No, but if it's an emergency and I'll tell you, it bothers me when I'm up there. There's too much water up there, on the one side, so.
well, and the other side of things, once we get a pile of sandbags full, we have a pile of sandbags filled. We're not, this isn't.
Well, who's gonna fill them?
Bags, you fill them and then
Right.
we can put them down by the lower pump house or something.
And keep them.
And keep them.
Yes,
Now we know, if we have to deal with some flooding, if we have to
yes, then we'd have.
deal with something, they're there and they're.
I won't argue
One of
that point,
9 million things the town probably should have sitting somewhere in case we need it, one little penny at a time.
but you gotta have the workers to fill them also. I mean, like I said, I could dig 4 or 5 shovels of dirt and I could probably be good to do a sandbag or 2, but that's all my shoulders are gonna take, so who are we gonna get?
Sand in a tube at Menards is $4.25. Empty sandbags with a tie are 26 cents each. And 60 pounds of sand is $4.89.
Yeah, it's about, you can do 40-pound bags,
But how many bags you gonna need?
50.
Well, you can get
100.
100 would be way more than enough.
It's a long ways around. Have you walked that thing lately? No.
Well,
The water is around the bottom a long ways now.
yeah. Well, we get it directed right at, it's pouring out right here. If we get it sandbagged, arced off the foundation and then really just drive it around,
Yeah, that's where the same place at least 4 years ago.
Well, you know, place now.
Yes, it's the same place. Yep.
$3.89.
Oh, is it both from construction sand will be
Way cheaper.
dirt.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Literally dirt cheap.
well, yeah, but I think it cost me to get it delivered. I don't know, I can't remember for sure, $89, but it's gonna be less than what concrete is.
Yeah.
And concrete's like now, what, 150 cubic yard? So this is gonna be a lot cheaper. You know, one of the things we're talking here, more or less, and I haven't seen the site stuff, more or less, and, you know, we're talking about getting volunteers. I guess when I look at it, I think I agree with Linda, it's an emergency, we need to do something now. I think what we do is you just go out and, get a couple quotes from different contractors, whether it's RCS or site work specialists. You know, site work specialists are working right over on the site over here. You just come up and say, hey, we got this leak, we need this diverted. And we need some sandbags now and do this, and that's manual labor.
It's
That's what you
manual,
gotta do
you
it.
bet
And
it is.
I think that trying to depend upon,
Volunteers.
volunteers to do it.
In an emergency at least. If we already had the sandbags, it'd
If
be
we
a
al-
different story. This time we'll get them and the next time we'll already have them. If there's hopefully never a next time, but there's always gonna be something. It's most of there's gonna be something.
But the thing is, they can, if they see if they see, oh yeah, we could get these sandbags and do it, well, they'd be the ones who'd be ordering the concrete truck.
Sandbags.
I would think so, but I don't know.
And I don't know if
Right now, you ain't gonna bother the DOT. They've got all their work available. Everything that they're doing has to do with the president coming, 4th of July.
Chris
And-
had ditches and
and-
grease trucks today.
Good.
Don't have, every.
Mhm.
does the county FEMA guy, do they have bags someplace
Well,
set
that's a
aside
thought too.
for, emergency deals? I don't know if they do. But I think by what I'm hearing, the extent of it and wanting to get it diverted, the fact that the state's gonna give you a permit and I'd be really surprised if it doesn't tell you you gotta treat it beforehand, which is no issue. All you do is just lay these little, they're just little discs, you know, it's like same thing, you clay pigeon, you know, you throw them up, shoot at it. But it's not the same thing, but anyways, about that size. you
Just a
lay there.
neutralizer.
And it flows over and it's, I just had it. My phone, I can't-
Well, we want to do that, see if we can find contractors that'll do it. We gotta have some kind of a budget attached to this. We can't just do anything.
I wouldn't have a clue how much it would cost. And until we got a contractor involved, I wouldn't know. I mean, you gotta tell them how wide's the ditch, how deep's the ditch, how long's the ditch.
Oh, not for cutting the ditch, just getting the sandbags.
You're just talking the
If we're gonna do
sandbags.
ditch, because we got the equipment, we've got the volunteer, we just need to finish the permit, which I talked to Kyle today, and found out about the permit, and then found out that they're not really concerned, so we just need to get the ditch flag, get 811.
Okay, all right. So, but anyway, you still have to give them, okay, we're gonna need 100 sandbags and we need them here. You need to spray paint the area or whatever, pin it, whatever, flag it. And, I mean, how much exactly do we need them to do?
Fill sandbags, and then
So is this gonna take him 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours? I mean, we need some sort of an idea to know. I wouldn't know. I mean, as a contractor, are they gonna do anything for less than $100 an hour?
filling sandbags. I mean, you might find something, be like, yeah, I'll do that for.
Well, I mean, you gotta have your trucks, your, the bags, the sand, the insurance, I mean, and like I said, I wouldn't even know. So what do we do? Just make some phone calls tomorrow morning and say, hey, are you interested in, uh, creating and laying 100 sandbags?
No, for $5,000, I will.
Well, see, that's my point. This is
That sounds like a fair
exactly.
round number to max us out at, as fair as any other I could think of.
Mhm.
Is that what we want to do? Is just set a general, not to exceed, and then somebody can kind of, whoever feels compelled, take the reins. And
I mean,
$5,000 is a lot of money for filling sandbags and
Oh,
putting in place. That's like crazy. So if we can't get it done for that, then
I was thinking 3, but then I was thinking that might be too little. So,
Yeah, I just don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
clueless.
To get the
Well, the
contractor
thing
to
is,
do
all
something.
these contractors are good.
I mean, yeah, they're all busy, and to get them to come out within the week.
why not
Do
get a
this?
general builder to fill sandbags for $5,000? You know, guy who's usually just put.
You know, you're talking about the ditch, and if you're talking about taking it straight west and then coming down that hillside,
Right. So along here, we need to find a piece of culvert. If
Yeah.
we don't already have one, get one and run out here and straight out. Because there's the drain pipe comes out somewhere around here and it has hose run and then pipe along the fence. And then there's a second one here.
but then you're going right down that fence.
Right straight down towards the highway. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how much is coming out, but
Can't fill the ditch down.
I heard,
But one of the things that you need to look at is you're gonna erode and scour that
yeah,
really bad. So when you bring the ditch over there, one of the things you might wanna do is at the top of the hill, is what you do, is before you go down, is you dig a ditch perpendicular to the ditch you're digging this way. And then when it comes in, when it comes in, and then it'll spread out along there, and then you want it, so it'll flow over that, and it gets, try to get even more sheet flow than gully flow.
Right.
Is the way to, get it so you're not scouring that hillside. Otherwise, there's gonna be a whole lot of dirt at the bottom of that hill. Depends on how much it is. And once you set this up, it's gonna catch all the rain. So if we get 1.5 inches of rain, and then it's setting in it that way. Yeah, so we need to do a little bit of thinking there too, and about the riprap too, is in that horizontal trough this perpendicular trough, I guess. You're gonna wanna put some riprap in there too, so.
We've got a pile of it. I would hope to line the whole ditch. We've got it. And maybe even weed barrier if we want to go that far.
But I would put some, where you want it to flow over is, I would put, like a 9 mil plastic. So when it comes to that ditch, and it flows out this way, so you have 9 mil going this way, and then, so it goes over the top. If you keep it fairly level, then as that fills, it's gonna go over top of that plastic, and that plastic could go down 4 or 5 feet. Then it's gonna be spread out. That's the way I would look at doing it. Otherwise, if you just put it right over the hillside, it's gonna scour to the bottom.
and cause another problem that we're gonna have to fix. So,
But I don't know if people have been paying attention, but since I've lived here, that whole hillside is sloughing.
yes,
And it's sloughed more since I've been here. It is sloughed. So what that tells me is that there's been a whole lot of groundwater that ain't been coming. This stuff is coming to the surface because it's leaking at the bottom of the tank. There's been leaking up there for a long time underground. We found the big 2-inch. Chuck found the 2-inch leak that one time and got it repaired. But there's other stuff seeping up there. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that sloughing. So, no,
Yeah.
It's usually wet, isn't it?
All right. So we'll go with a 5. Does anybody else want to take this on or should I just keep running with it? Does anybody want to be the master of the sandbags?
I could be, but I don't wanna be.
Yeah, I
How's
do
that?
it too, but I have to work in the morning.
Joan?
I don't understand why you have to put a dollar amount on it. Why can you not make a motion to get the estimates? Get 2 estimates, 3, whatever you think is appropriate, or that you can get. And then have a quick meeting after you have the estimates to accept or reject an estimate at that time. Why do you need a dollar figure now? You have no clue what it's gonna cost.
Well,
Because and every time we have to wait to any kind of meeting, even if it's one where we only need 24 hours or more, we're kicking a can down the road. Where if those sandbags, if the sandbags can be here by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, that'd be
I
perfect.
bet you $100 you don't get anybody to touch it until next week.
Exactly, your 4th of July
I was
week.
gonna do it on the holiday, but I did like the suggestion of calling the National Guard just to see if they have any, if they bring them down and lay them.
They might do it.
Way cheaper.
It might be a project for them.
Especially if they know our divers are coming. You know, like we do have help coming, but we just need some sandbags till they get here. Maybe if we cut the trench and help divert the water and they bring sandbags, we can buy some time.
All right, so contingencies. Let's say, nah, I wouldn't know who to call. I don't know if anybody else.
Well, I have friends.
Contingencies, National
Retired
Guard,
National
County
Guard,
FEMA,
but
I think was mentioned.
Yeah,
County emergency,
emergency management.
and
Those are phone calls that can be made first thing in the morning and either eliminated or,
call Leon, he worked, Oh, who's doing it?
and it always place back.
He would be able to tell you when you call. Just tell him you're.
So we've gone into situations where we have people just calling somebody they know and just making something happen, and now we can't really do that anymore, right? We can't just be like surprised by these emergency bills. We shouldn't be saying, oh well, we just had to pay this $15,000 because it was an emergency. This is kind of an emergency. We do need a budget on it.
Put 5,000 out, call in the morning. If you're gonna get something under 5,000, then you're okay. Then you just go. If it's over 5,000.
then we have another meeting.
And we've called meetings in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always an option to call another meeting. The goal is to
Well, but there's always the option to call it as an emergency without the 24-hour notice. This is, I don't know, I guess
yeah.
it's bothersome to me up there.
Call my friend and see if he can give me an in on it.
Yeah, call right now, please. Thank you.
Yeah, she's gonna go call somebody.
I got somebody that's in the National Guard.
Okay, I'll go call my good looking one first.
Want to take 3 minutes while we wait on these phone calls?
Yeah.
For you? All right.
Great.
I don't know, one thing, I know you got it lined up in the volunteer stuff, and that's always pretty good, but I haven't seen the situation up there, so.
I mean, if I could have had sandbags here on house tomorrow, I'd have it done myself by tomorrow night. I'd throw some sandbags around. I don't care. I figured
And the thing is,
60
you
will
know,
do it.
and 60, but maybe, what were they, $4 a piece, okay, let's just take them up, okay? She just said you can get these long ones.
$5 with tax. So, okay, 5 times 60 is 300.
300.
So worst case, that could be, all right, Menards, just deliver the stupid thing, or whoever.
Well, you could.
They'll deliver.
Oh, yeah, just tell them to deliver. Tell them to,
Ace has the tube of sand. They're already burlap.
That's what,
60 pounds.
that's what,
Yeah.
that's what,
I think that might
Menards
be the
has.
best way to go.
I get no answer. I left.
That's quick. It's easy.
I got an answer.
And then you get them there, then when you get them there, then you just throw them what you want. And for, what did you say the sandbags were done at $5?
Bags.
well, already bags,
I
the
think
They were
tubes.
like two something, weren't they?
Oh, no, thought they were 4 something.
Sand in there too, 478.
And how much does each of those tubes weigh? It weighs
Yeah. 45 pounds.
45. I can't do it then. I can't do it. So I can't help.
Why? And.
But the thing is, if the bags of sand, now the thing is, some of those bags of sand like that, they're used to put in your back of your pickup.
Yeah.
Right.
They're waterproof. And that's not really what you want for this situation. What you want is a burlap bag of sand, so it actually absorbs moisture, and then no more moisture can go through it. You see what I'm saying?
No, I never knew how those worked. That makes no sense to me. In my brain, if it goes into it, it should.
No, but no,
My truck and your truck.
Okay, all I can do is believe you or not, because it doesn't make sense to me.
There's a point where you just say, have them drop the pallets off.
I just get the tubes of sand, because it's gonna pile up.
Well, it's gonna be faster if you're willing to do the work. I can't do the
I've
work.
got 4 or 5 people I could call to get off their butts and come outside and play.
So.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I would call Menards and have them delivered. And I would have them delivered. They have smaller trucks. I would have them deliver it in a smaller truck so they can get right up there and drop it off up there.
555 of them in stock in Rapid City.
At which,
Menards.
of the two, Sam?
Yeah, but we don't want the two.
11% rebate, so you know, we don't have that back, back.
If we get the burlap too, that's ideal. That's perfect for
But-
control.
But she said they're not burlap.
Huh?
Or they burlap?
Or burlap or plastic or.
No, these are more plastic here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It says it's the top selection.
I'll drive out there and look. And see what we got.
Well, if I can read this.
Burlap.
I would go in the morning and you can bring my skid steer down, but my wife has me in the hospital at 4:30 and I got to be there. And if I tried to tell Connie to do it, I'd be in trouble.
And the plastic ones, they'll last for years if they're taken care of. You put them somewhere.
But then you gotta pack them and you gotta,
I can't read that.
and you gotta put the seams, you can't have them all ended at the same point.
It's just all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right for me.
Are we back from break and talking about
Sound.
stuff during break?
We're back.
Everybody says I can't.
Tough durable bags stacks easily.
It's 7:45, you guys.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
Move on.
So did we have any kind of action? Something.
I would say we just need to take action and we need to do some information finding in the morning and make a decision and get this working ASAP. That's all I'm gonna say.
No motion.
Wait,
for this?
that's a support, that's a motion. That's a motion. I mean, I would rather,
Motion to take emergency action on
sure, okay, that works.
the leak
Mhm.
at the water tank.
Up to.
Gathering a lot of, no, no. If you're doing it, no.
Right.
Well, we can't.
So then just call it, just get the information tomorrow and
Oh, my pickup?
Yeah.
Uh, she'll carry.
emergency,
She'll carry a good plenty. If I could do that realistically. I mean, I could probably.
You're loading them twice. You have to load your pickup.
She'll hold 8 tons without breaking a sweat. Or
they should have them on a pallet. They should put the pallet right in there.
You're doing back to Julie, you put 2 tons in the back of it, it's gonna squat it back.
Yeah.
I've had 8,000 in her before.
Yeah, that's 4 tons. Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
Highway.
Uh,
Like Cadillac.
I think the 5,000 is gonna cover the sandbags, and if you have to have somebody come up and.
Setting a budget for 5,000 doesn't mean that you're going to spend $5,000. It just
Right.
means this window that you can.
We'll set the budget then for $2,000. Because if you're doing it, it should not be, we just said there's
Well, he might not
300.
be digging all those tunnels and trenches.
Well, no, we're not talking about
yet.
that.
Not yet.
We're not talking about that. We're just talking about putting the sandbags in. And the sandbags are $300.
That's 400. 4,500.
And I haven't seen the area up there, but if you look at kind of this, if you want to get it so you can bring along the circumference of the tower, it's gonna take, it could easily take 100 bags.
Yeah.
It could
60
easily
pounds each, so that's
just
that's
have,
6,000 pounds of sand.
just have it delivered.
Yep.
And how many bags did they say? It was 100, and how many were there?
Filled more.
They have 555 available.
I had 7,500 pounds of scrap.
Don't worry about your truck. Have it delivered. Have it delivered and in a smaller truck where they can drop it there, not here.
You don't have to handle it.
Exactly.
They can get them.
Yes, it's gotta go up there. We don't have the time or the manpower to double handle it. So,
We have one big truck that they can park on the street and the arm is how long? It went from the street all the way to the front door of the.
I'm
that's a long way.
not the subcontractor you're typically working with who's going to make sure that if he has a $2,000 budget, he spent $1,999.95. So we
But if you get a
can break that habit. I think we can
be
break
at
that.
$5,000.
But you said the bags are $450 a piece, times 100, that's $450.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe 150 for just
Oh,
That's what I say, $2,000.
Yeah.
I'll make a
Yeah,
motion
but-
that it's $2,000.
Times $4.50 is $450.
Yeah, but you might need more than 100. So say you need 300, for example, that's $500. Just go $2,000, not to
Yes.
exceed $2,000.
Yeah.
2,000.
And then.
we made how much? 7,500 on bulk water.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much we made. Boy, I'm telling
Easy
you.
company to go.
But you're not
Okay.
gonna send that much.
Oh,
So we have a motion, but we don't have a second yet.
Oh, what the hell's the motion now?
Take
Sorry.
emergency action for leak at the water tank with maximum budget of 2,000.
sounds
Something
good.
like
That sounds
Okay,
good.
I was thinking that.
Donna beat you to it.
Oh, Donna, okay.
Motion made and seconded. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor.
Aye. Okay.
All right. I didn't even think we'd get anything done on that item, but then we talked about it and then we did.
C. Move forward.
Backflow preventer. Okay, here's another one that came up. So Sunday, got a call from the fair board. They were running around town and there was nowhere they could get bulk water because the fill stations were all gone. We talked it with our operator, and the story is that what was being used wasn't ours, that the contractor finished their work and took it with them. But the story I've had is that we've been selling bulk water for a long time, and now suddenly we don't have the equipment we need in order to do it.
Okay.
No idea where
If that's what they look like, how big is that? What is the
they're
size?
about probably 2 feet long, maybe a
okay.
little less than that.
There's a,
This is a real one. This isn't the rinky-dink nonsense that they were using. That's a terrible meter and a failed attempt at a backflow. This is a double check valve, professional meter backflow setup. This is safe for our system setup.
okay, well, whatever. I'm just telling you that there's a piece of equipment that looks similar to that down in the bottom pump house that's only about that big.
But I think that one that was hooked up was the town's.
Oh, that I wouldn't
That's
know.
the
I have
question
nothing
that
to do with
remains
that.
unanswered in the back of my mind.
I think it was the town's.
According to them, according to John or whoever I talked to, it belonged to the asphalt company. They took it with them.
That's what I was told.
Well, now here's where we get back to anything like that needs to have a checkout sheet. And
I've said that for years.
it's like we owe a snow machine. We own a snow machine.
What the heck?
Are we sure where it is? I think it's in the maintenance building. Maybe not.
Well, how much time you want to take here? We don't have that much time to talk about the snow machine. We all need to, we know we need to do inventory. None of us has volunteered to do it. I still say we need to hire a maintenance person part-time and have them start doing the maintenance or the inventory, excuse me. So beyond that, here again we go. I don't know. I was told that it was the trucking company's valve, if there was one. I didn't look at it. I didn't give it to them. I was never there when they filled water. I don't know. But if we need one, then we better go through our own inventory and see if we have one or order one. And then, like I have said for years and years, I didn't like the fact, I still don't like the fact that those people are filling up with nobody being there. I think that we don't have an actual filling station. If we had a filling station, you can get the monitors for that, they'll tell you how much has been put in the truck or how much is gone, whatever. They have the total of how many gallons, how many price per gallon, whatever it is, 10 cents a gallon, whatever it is. Until we have that, I mean, here again, if we had a maintenance person that was working, that person could be there while they're filling up.
So you got somebody in mind?
No, I don't have anybody in mind. Chuck had said that Randy was maybe willing to work a little, but he informed me that he was going to work for him, not for the town.
Randy?
Collins.
Oh.
I mean, I think that is something that we can put out there and see if anybody's interested, you know? I think it's important to this town to have that person.
As far as I've been told, talking to Chuck, the one we did have may still do have. What was the meter isn't rated for the flow we end up putting through it, so that basically it's useless.
Okay, so then we
It's
need
only
one
a
anyway.
backflow preventer because the meter apparently isn't rated to handle the flow of a hydrant.
Okay, so we need one anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, but if we have one, do we have someone to use it? Do we have someone that's gonna check it in, check it out? Do we have someone that's gonna be there while it's being used? Do we need that? This is what I'm saying. If we're gonna spend $4,000, we need to make those choices and those decisions first. See what I'm saying?
Why it's a problem that we have an operator that's an hour away.
Well,
We have nobody in town.
Okay, so here again we go. This has not one thing to do with it, in my opinion. So what I'm saying is, without any of this information, we can put that on a back burner and put it on the next agenda or the one after that. And we need to think about the decisions we're making that have to do with that particular piece of equipment.
Yeah, no, this was just bringing it up. I
Yep.
don't expect any action. I just,
Okay.
this is what I found. This is very, very widely available unit, very reputable company, and it's actually one of the cheaper ones. They go over 14 grand really quick.
Well, maybe they're worth it.
Real quick. But yeah.
I've been.
Now, is this the vacuum breaker or is it just double check?
Double check with the relief.
So it automatically release.
Yeah. Yeah, so if the pressure goes over what it's rated for,
Well, the pressure
Mhm.
on the backside of it gets lower, then it'll shut itself down.
Yeah. With the meter built in and
To make sure you don't get anything sucking back into it.
Okay, end of discussion. Let's go on to the minutes.
D. Oh, wait. Trina's got
Just
something?
Just really quick, I think we should have it on the agenda next week that we are planning to hire somebody and start that process because the contract is up in December and that'll be here before we know it.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
That's all I wanted.
So what's that?
Thank you, Trina.
We want the hiring the town employee process to get back into it at the next meeting.
Maintenance man.
And so this being said, we have to have a list of the things we want him to do, because we can't hire somebody without a list.
We have massive
Yeah.
one.
Okay, all right, good, good.
You're gonna have to have a vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I keep thinking the old cop car could do.
Mhm.
Maybe
Now,
we can list for the next meeting. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's been long.
Mr. Stiles, something quick before we move on.
Oh, no, and then just get a shop vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Why?
Electrical is so bad on it.
It's that bad, huh?
Yeah.
and last I was down there, it had something other than transmission fluid in the transmission.
Well, we need to put that on an auction block and get rid of it, and maybe we get a little bit with the.
That's another, let's go on. Mowing, D is mowing.
Mowing debris.
Mhm.
I didn't really go look around. I saw him parked out here and unloading and
Mhm.
going about his business, but
Well, I asked him, I said, were you told to do Whitney Street? And he said, no. Well, Whitney Street needs to be done. The south side of Whitney.
so I think to be fair to him, and maybe this is one thing that just generally we need to do in practice. We'll have cameras with us all the time. If this is an area that needs to be done, take a picture so we can send it to the guy and say this is what needs to be done instead.
Oh,
of
I know, no. I'm not sending nothing without board approval. I mean,
Well, no, I mean just in generally speaking. So if we come together and we say, all right, this is kind of what we want them to do. We have
Or
pictures.
if somebody could leave a list at the town office, and you could pick the list at the town office and areas.
Give them a map, you could highlight it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Highlight the map.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll get better at it. I mean, I
the
think
thing-
we did, looks great.
I did give him a
Well,
map.
yeah, what he did do was great.
Yeah. That was the thing, like, I talked to him, and because the west side of McDermott and then that
Yeah.
empty lot that's there next to the house that's for
Yeah.
auction.
Yeah, we own that.
those are all town property, so we just missed some town
Over
property.
there by Bobby's is town property.
What he was saying was, oh, I didn't include that in my bid. And so that's my concern, is that he doesn't have all the places yet. And so he wants a list from us of those places so that he can adjust his bid.
No, that's fair. I mean,
So,
really,
well,
the fair thing would be to just kind of say, all right, we'll make the adjustments as you need to. We understand that we all have to give each other grace with this because we didn't have a map of this is exactly what we want done, you know? We never really needed one
So,
for decades. Yeah.
Okay.
so do we give Terry our list of
well, we need,
south side of Whitney, west side of McDermott,
mhm.
So
in the corner of Donna and McDermott?
we can
Or
follow,
which?
maybe at the next meeting, we can follow up, everybody put together what you know of, get it compiled into a list, and then we can be like, all right, this is what we want to get.
So is he coming down again this week to mow some more, or does he think he's done?
He said,
He's full this week.
yeah, he
Yeah.
said he's full, but then he would come if we needed him to.
And my only concern about it is with all the fireworks going off, you know? That's,
I'm hoping some of this rain that's on the docket for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday pans out.
I hope
Just
you're
give me
right.
one of those days, please.
Okay, what's next?
All right, so we're gonna
8 o'clock.
compile what we think we know needs to be mowed. Everybody bring your thoughts on what needs to be mowed to the next meeting, and we'll put it together and make sure that, and we understand that there's gonna need to be some grace in here.
On the south side of the road at the fire, by the fire station, did you know that?
Up there,
No,
Yeah.
probably didn't do anything across the
Yeah,
highway.
'cause
I
the
don't know
south,
if we ever mowed there.
yeah,
I don't,
always did.
Chuck did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You know where the road going up to what, the cemetery? And everything on the south side he mowed, the people on the north side who own, you know, the fire department was responsible for their stuff. But no, Chuck too did mow that.
Yeah,
Close enough.
And we mowed this lot over here too, I think.
we're not mowing that lot anymore. That's private property. That little lot next to, that's a sore subject, but we gotta figure that one out too.
It was a sore subject back in the day too.
I don't,
So,
it'll be a sore subject until
What do you mean we're not gonna
It was.
mow what? What's his name still? Who is it?
it's not ours.
Somebody owns it.
They're saying that the town never acquired that property. It kind of sort of tried in a kind of sort of weird sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what's his name?
I mean, that's, I guess, volunteer
I
wants
mean,
to.
I
do it.
just
We don't
asking,
wanna claim it
just
out.
asking why you're saying that. I agree, it's a weird thing, kind of like Donley versus subdivision, that's a weird thing.
Community garden, I think, was the plan for the people who are trying to get that. I like that idea. Anyway,
over here?
ask the school if they want to let the kids do it, or
That'd be a good idea, let the kids, I mean, let the school have it for a garden in the spring.
garden club.
But we can't, the town can't let you have.
Yeah, we don't have rights to it anyway.
Exactly. We need to.
Because when,
However, now you're getting into a whole nother subject. But we own where the duplex was down in Ferguson subdivision that we could make into
No,
garden.
we do not own that.
The town owns that.
Town owns it, honey.
Which subdivision? Ours?
Where the duplex was moved?
No,
Yes.
Gary Hunsaker's daughter owns that.
No, you're talking about the one where the concrete is. I'm talking about the backside where the,
Oh, yeah.
we own that. So,
That's where my house used to be.
yeah, exactly. You're living in the house that was moved. Yes, that is correct. Did he mow that? Okay, so that needs to be on the list. I'm not bringing the list next week. We're talking about it all right now. I'm gonna talk about it again.
Well, I'm gonna assume,
Sure.
if I don't have the pictures documentation, then I'm.
So,
If I don't have the photographic documentation, I'm just gonna.
Terry,
Never.
Terry, would you please make us maps so that I can just highlight the damn map? Excuse my language. Sorry. It's after 8 o'clock.
You know, yeah.
If anybody's good with their camera phone and wants to.
What else about those?
The ATVs.
The what?
ATVs.
Well,
E.
they're not eight, well,
what I think it was
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
electric bikes maybe, because you
Yeah.
can hear them, that's one of the things, is a lot of more electric bikes going around. But you can see, if you go up there, because I drove up there and just looked through the gate, because someone said something about a lake, but I couldn't really see anything from that.
Well, we had two down through our development this last week.
But anyway, you can see where they have trails where they come out of that parking lot there.
And that needs to be stopped.
And it goes all the way around. They actually have a loop. They go around and there's places
See, I
where
have
you go
those.
directly up the slope. And that's all just gonna be.
What about the horses?
How are we gonna stop that though? We don't have law enforcement. I mean, we can nicely ask.
Them.
Well, I know that we can nicely ask them, but that doesn't mean they're gonna do it.
Well, how old the kids are they?
I don't know whose kids they are.
See, we just need to figure out whose kids they are, how old they are, because we do have ordinances about kids on dirt bikes at a certain age.
I mean, what
On
do we
the
got?
road,
Scott?
no, that's not a
We have
road.
Enforcement right now.
I would still call them.
It is town property, but I mean, we can sign it to say no trespassing, but that doesn't mean they'll do
Well,
it.
it takes
you
a
know.
little bit of liability off the town though.
To have the signs, okay, so then let's make a motion to get the signs to put on that property that say no trespassing, whatever,
City property,
city property.
or we said town property.
So they can't go up there and do their exercises neither.
All the people.
Oh, yeah, it's not.
You know what I'm talking about. don't you?
I've heard,
You don't
I've
want it to be
heard.
no trespassing then. You want it to be you want it, I guess, probably to be no motorized vehicles past this point.
I really
There you
think,
go.
I really
Motorized
think you
vehicles
talk
past
to
this
the
point.
parents
Yeah.
and tell
Yeah,
them
but we
that
don't
you'd rather
do
not
that.
do that because of the risk, the erosion stuff,
Well,
and then it'll stop.
Sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the first thing, just like on the courtesy
Well,
of just talking to them.
Yeah, I agree, exactly,
But I still.
but
think
we
should have
still
signs.
have it posted. Should probably be posted.
Yeah.
No dirt bikes.
No, motorized vehicles.
Past this point, something like that.
That's probably the one to have. I like your bag.
That's how they do it in the forest, in the federal forest area, there's just no motorized vehicles past this point.
Yep, okay.
People still do it, but and that's the thing, people still do it, but they're at their own risk at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Nobody's
right.
coming to help them if
Right.
they go off a cliff.
Mhm.
Well, help.
I'll push.
Help them push it back up the hill.
So, we need any motions to buy the signs? Or is that just
Do you want, yeah, I mean,
Just go to Summit Sign, buy them.
make a motion? I'll make the motion to have, what do we need? 3 of them? 3 signs that say no motorized vehicles beyond this point. Does it need to say town of Hermosa? I don't.
probably should have our,
Cheaper if I don't say town or most on.
Mhm. Okay, whatever. Okay, the maintenance man could put those up too.
What?
Just sitting,
Out there like he's looking for a job.
That's right. They might want just a part-time job, yeah, just a little cash in the pocket.
you have a second? No?
What's that?
No, second? All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay, F, prairie dogs. Okay. I'm trying to move things along here.
All right, prairie dogs, we were talking to Cheryl, right?
Cheryl came in. We got her updated license here. But she said legally she can't do anything till July 1st. But also she suggested, I mean, it's too green right now. I mean, especially with the leak. Because the prairie dogs will go, you can probably attest to all this. The prairie dogs will go after all the green stuff and not eat the oats. And we only have one chance to do this. They can only do it once per year.
The season.
Yeah, the season.
So we kind of
So
really.
we have to wait till the optimal time.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only other good thing would be.
2 months ago, basically, was, well,
Rebate them.
Well, we couldn't have
because of the
legally
baby stuff.
the July 1st, yeah.
When does that, did she ever say when that starts? Like when the beginning of that?
March.
March, so March to July is the,
No, the season goes from July 1st to
Yeah.
into February, and then you can't do anything from February.
March,
28th
okay,
to
gotcha.
July 1st, because then they're mating and having babies.
It's obvious.
So-
It's obvious there.
So we till things-
There's 6 new holes up there in the last 4 days.
Charges like $175.
It's 300 and she's gonna stick to it. She's gonna stick to her quote of 300.
Yeah, it wasn't very much that she, I guess, maybe.
We need a motion to approve your
Well, we want it,
dog ability.
I guess we want it done at the most optimal time.
Yeah.
So whenever that, if it's not next week, I guess it's not next week. We just have to deal with it. Do they drown easily?
Here's a motion I would entertain. Authorize abatement committee to utilize prairie dog mitigation services as needed.
Well, we can only do it.
We don't need to know. You guys are gonna do it as you need to. Delegation. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Anybody want to make that motion?
I think we can use the back truck.
I made a motion.
They
They'll build it down.
You want to make a motion to give yourself work? I'll make this motion. I'll make the motion to authorize the abatement committee to utilize prairie dog mitigation services as needed. I make that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Donald seconds. All right. Any further discussion?
No.
Connie?
You can say as needed, like you're gonna call Cheryl in 3 months and go, they're back. Guess what? It's attached to her license and you can only do a prairie dog pound once a season, period.
Period.
Okay.
That's red tape, right? The motion doesn't really mean that. She's just gonna say no.
Okay.
Yeah. We can't make her do it.
Well,
Good.
Again, we don't have law. No. All right.
Do we need an executive session?
That was motion made and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, but. Should have slipped something else.
sorry. My,
Should have slipped something else in there. Monty does have some tablets, so should we have him go around with those tablets for mosquitoes?
We already approved.
He already-
Approved.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I
Do it the last
call
meeting.
and tell him to go ahead and do it.
he's already been called.
Yeah, go ahead and do it authority now.
He's already been called.
Call him.
Okay,
Well,
that's it. Closing comments
I
from the
called,
public.
but I never got back. He never got back to me.
well,
What
he's,
was that?
Do we have closing comments from the public?
Dear, I got a comment. Did you get
No.
my message today?
yes, and no.
Do you-
There is no way. I have this, I can find it maybe in a year. And that's the honest to God truth, Margie. My husband, when I got off the board there for a while, my husband packed everything up and he was gonna take it all to the dump. And I said, no, you can't. I'm not ready to give it up yet. But where the boxes are and what box it's in, I can't help you. So this is my suggestion. We all know that Vicky had one. Can you not have her make copies of the entire thing and send it here?
She does not have hers because she threw it away when she moved, because she purchased it herself. So it wasn't town property. How about Dan? Does he still have his?
I don't talk to him. Joan had everything because she was P and Z. She should have a copy of everything.
Well, let me tell you, I never had a book like that because it was for the board, and I never made one like that for P and Z. However, I did have all the ordinances on my thumb drive, so we could reference them easily.
If you want to see that,
Yeah, because there's.
would you make her a thumb drive?
Yeah, I can do that, but there was no history on there, it was only ordinances.
Yeah, that's, we need, because you can't, we've got books there, and if you want to find something.
Right, I understand that, but I can't help you. Honest to God, I can't help you. I know.
The only thing that I will mention is,
Yeah.
once I
Honey.
get my thumb drive, oh, I mean, if ordinances were changed or modified, they were sent to American Publishing and put online in their new version. They were not kept added to any books, and I know at the end of the year, they were supposed to send paper copies, whether or not they did, I don't know. But
So
I
this
can
is
send
a
you-
time
you know, I can
consuming
send you
thing
what I
too, that.
have, even though they're old,
Mhm.
if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I saw ordinances with my dad's signature on it, which was kind of special, but
Well, sure.
I mean, it's old.
Yep, yeah. Okay.
All right, further input, closing comments from the public. Anybody else? No, all good. All righty, trustee input. Trustee Ferguson.
Well, it was much longer meeting than I thought it was going to be, but I think it was pretty productive.
Got some things done. Trustee Medini?
Don't we need an executive session meeting for personnel?
Mhm.
Okay,
That's it? That's your trustee input?
yep.
Trustee Kramer?
It's 8:15.
Okay, trustee Miller?
Okay.
Okay, thank you all, thank you all for coming. This was a productive special meeting, I think. I think we got some much needed things done that, yeah. Okay, so I will entertain a motion to enter executive session for personnel.
At 8:15,
Yep.
I'll make that motion to enter executive session at 8:15.
Made, we have a second, motion seconded, made and seconded, further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
You could look out there, but I'm not gonna be there, but
Okay.
still look.
Are you gonna be there?
No, he's not gonna be there.
She's not gonna be there either? Okay.
Ladies.
I don't know if these two are.
outside of that, it's whatever.
Exit, right?
Let me open the door. There's nobody out here, but I still need to open the door.
Take my word.
Someone calls.
God already gave you the opinion.
Someone call and not one or all.
Nobody out there?
Nobody out there.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to exit executive session
I
at
make that only second.
8:37.
motion made and seconded.
I second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have no do we have actions out of that?
I don't think we need an action to state that we're putting an ad in the paper. It's just an administrative thing. I don't think it requires.
Very good. Okay, then I will entertain a motion to enter executive session for security.
I second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
I
Aye. Okay.
Open the door.
Only the wind.
Oh, yeah, it's still
Yeah.
blowing.
I motion that we exit executive session at 8:54.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Sure.
Motion made and seconded. All those, any further discussion? No? All those in favor? Aye. All right. And any actions out of the executive session on security? I guess, we could entertain a motion. I'll start it that way. I'll entertain a motion assigning authority of all keys, codes, and passwords related to town security to the finance officer.
Within 48 hours.
Right. And requiring all unaccounted for access be turned over within 48 hours. Alrighty, I will entertain that motion.
A second with one comment.
You want to make it and then somebody else can second it?
Yeah, what about the taking padlocks off?
All that is, yep, it's now going to be under Terry's authority,
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. The
which
padlocks
is
are,
statutory.
yeah, okay, I just want to make sure we have that covered too.
I'll make it.
All right,
You're
trustee
making
Miller's making the motion. Trustee Ferguson seconds the motion.
A second.
All right, any further discussion? No, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Okay.
All right, motion passes, and it's not July 1st yet.
No.
Wednesday.
Interesting. Okay, enough said, I think. All right, thank you, everyone.
I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting at
8:57.
Yep, 8:57.
Motion made, do we have a second?
Yep.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.